Hello friends, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Trinity English Joseph, and I hope everyone is fine. And I welcome you once again to today's class. We have been discussing about the verbs and how the verbs function properly. And in today's class, we will be discussing about Concord. So, in simple terminology, we just discuss about subject-verb agreement in many of the books. And here, Concord means subject-verb agreement. So first, let us look at this particular term Concord, from where it originated and what is the meaning of it. The word conquered derives from the Latin root word, and the meaning of conquered is agreement. Here, what is the agreement and how does it agree? Let us know now. In English, agreement between the two words in a sentence is called as conquered. And here, if you just look at, mainly the word conquered is between the subject and the verb in the sentence. So the subject and the verb should agree with each other. And then if you just look at, the verb must agree with its subject in two aspects. So the first one is about the subject. And if you just look at, in the subject, they have the number, the noun number. So the noun number talks about the singular and plural. So generally, if the subject is singular, the verb is going to be singular. If the subject is going to be plural, and the verb also should be plural. And coming to the second one here, friends, we have about the person. So when we speak about the pronouns, the personal pronouns, we have the persons. There are three persons here. In my previous video about pronouns, I have already spoken about the personal pronouns. I will put the link in the description, and you can very well make yourselves known about this particular aspect. And here if you see, there are three persons: first person, second person and the third person. So the first person is the person about who speaks the things, and the second person is the listener who listens, and the third person is spoken of, or simple terminology we can say topic. And here, friends, if you see, the first person is I and we. I is the singular and we is plural, and the second person is you, and for both singular as well as plural we use just you. And in the third person we have he, she and it. So this is singular and they is plural. So here he is used for masculine gender, she is used for feminine gender, and it is used for neuter gender or things. Friends, here as I already told you, singular subject takes a singular verb, plural subject follows plural verb. And friends, if you just look at this particular aspect, so what are the singular helping verbs and plural helping verbs? So let us look at now. So does is the singular, for thus, do is the plural, for is and am. So is used with he, she, it, and am is used with I. And for those both, so are is the plural, and then has is used in the perfect and perfect continuous, and here for this have is the plural. And when we use he, she, it, we use has, and when we use I, we, you, they, these four subjective personal pronouns, we use have. And for both is and am, when we use it in the past tense, we use was, and for are we use were in the past tense. And here we have another one more form, that is a base form of the verb V1. So we call this V1 as the base form of the verb. And for the base form of the verb, if you use yes or es form, so one example is go, goes, write, writes, sing, sings, all these are the examples. And for that, plural is just a usage of the basic verb. So base verb, we just use it. So thus we simply take go, write, sing, all this. And let us know some of the rules about how to have subject verb agreement in the further video. Friends, now let us look at some of the rules for subject verb agreement. The first one is singular verb. When do we use singular verb in the subject verb agreement? So if you just look at friends, see here, if you get the words anyone, someone, nobody, everyone, somebody, none of, each of, either of, neither of, any of, as well as, or, along with, a pair of, not only but also. With all this, we just use a singular verb, friends. So if you just look at the examples, the first example is everyone has done his or her work. So here has is a singular verb. And the second one is somebody has left the purse. So somebody is the subject, as we have got the subject here, and then we have used the singular verb, somebody has left the purse. So this is the first rule. So whenever you get all these words, you use the singular verb. And friends, the second rule is when you get the words there, here, we use verb and the subject. So here, there and here are not subjects. So if you just look at the first rule, all these are used as the subjects. But whereas here, there and here is not subject, and we just use just there and here. So when we use these there and here, how are we going to get here? So there are two reasons for this. So when I say there are two reasons for this, there are. So that is the plural subject. So two reasons. So here since it is reasons, so this is the plural subject and we have used the plural verb here. And then if you come here, there is no reason. So there is no reason. So here reason is a singular, the noun is singular. So we use singular subject. So since it is a singular subject, we use the singular verb. So friends, if you come to one particular exception here, what is the exception means? If subject ends with yes and that is not singular, and if subject ends without yes, that is plural. So here, though the subject ends with yes, that becomes singular. So though subject ends without yes, that becomes plural. So how is it? We would just look at here. The news is bad. So here the subject seems to be plural because it is ending with yes, but the subject is singular. So we use the singular verb. And here people, so we don't have any yes form here, but still people are bad. So people is a plural subject and we used the plural verb. So let us learn some more rules about the subject verb agreement. Friends, now let us look at the third rule. So here if you just very carefully observe this rule, there are certain words here, and if you use with the quantity, adjectives of quantity, these words, they take the singular verb. If you just use them with the countable nouns, a countable number, a plural verb is taken with a countable number. So here, if you take about the adjectives of quantity, they take singular verb. If you take with the adjectives of number, they just take the plural verb. So friends, now let us look at these particular words first, and then let us look at some of the examples to understand this particular rule better. See, if you just look at the words half of, pair of, a percentage of, a majority of, any, all, most, more than one, some, all these words, if you just use them with a quantity or a lump sum of, then we use the singular verb. If you use with the adjectives of a number, then we use the plural verb. So first let us look at the quantity where we use the singular verb, friends. See, if you just look at 3/4 of the student's body is against the tuition. So if you just look at friends here, so 3/4 of the student's body. So here the word body is singular. So though there is 3/4 here, but still body represents, the noun body represents singular, there is a singular noun here. So thus, since it is a singular noun, there is a singular verb. And coming to the second example, a high percentage of the population is voting for the new school.
So here we have just taken as a high percentage as the quantity. So since we have taken the quantity, for the quantity we use the singular verb, friends. And coming to the third example, 2 and 2 is 4, or simply 2 and 2 makes 4. So in either of these examples we take the singular verb. Friends, coming to the next one, when we use the adjectives of number or countable number, so we take the plural verb. If you just look at the examples, 3/4 of the students are against the tuition. So here, if you just look at this noun, students, students is plural, the noun students is plural. So it takes the plural verb are. And coming to the second example, a high percentage of the people. So here we are just looking at the people. So here, since we are taking the people, so in the previous one, what did we do here? A high percentage of the population. So here, a high percentage of the people. So here population we have taken, and here we have taken people. So in that way, the way how we use the noun, so we just continue with the way how we use the verbs also. So the subject and the verb, they should coordinate with each other. So the verb should agree with its subject. So it is the verb which changes in accordance with the subject, not the subject in accordance with the verb. So some of the people, they are very often confused that the subject changes according to the verb. No, it is always the verb which changes in accordance with the subject. So that's what we have to understand here. Some of the voters, so if you just look at voters, voters is a plural, and thus we use the plural verb. So friends, coming to the next one, the fourth rule, when you look at the words a number of, so whenever you use the word a number of, and then we use the plural verb. So if you just use the number of, then we use singular verb. So if you use the a number of, we use plural verb. If we use the number of, we use singular verb. So friends, if you just look at these ones, a number of people are waiting to see you. So here we have used the plural verb. So the number of stars in the sky seems countless. So here we use singular. Friends, now let us look at the fifth rule, that is measurements of money, time, distance. When you get, we always use the singular verb. If you just look at, so when you just look at this particular measurements of money, time and distance, so if you just look at the examples, we understand better. So here 100 rupees is a lot of money for a bottle. So 100 rupees is. Okay. So friends, coming to the second example, 2 hours is a long time to wait to see a doctor. 2 hours is a long time. So one particular unit we are trying to take about. So friends, whenever you take it as a single unit, we take a singular verb. And if you just do not take it as a single unit, if you just take it differently, then we use the plural verb. So we need to understand, or we need to know what exactly is the usage there in the sentence. According to the sentence and its usage, the verb differs according to it. So coming to the next one, friends. So the sixth rule here, if you just look at, if you have two subjects here in the sentence, especially with these words, with as well as, except, in addition to, no less than, with all these things, we have the verb agreeing with the subject one. So if you have first subject and the second subject, these two subjects having these words, so we go along with the verb agreeing with subject one. So whenever we go with this, so the verb agrees with subject one. So if you just look at these examples, the first example, the students in addition to the teacher are all receiving special recognition. So if you go ahead with, in addition to the teacher are all receiving special recognition, are here. So next one, the teacher with the students is going to picnic. Here the teacher, so we are trying to specify the teacher along with the students is going to the picnic. So here we are giving more emphasis to the teacher, and along with the teacher the students are there. So thus we are giving the specification to the first subject. So we use the singular subject because we are using the singular verb along with the singular subject. The CM. So if you just look at friends, the CM as well as the ministers. So here we are whomsoever is the head, we just generally give the more priority or preference to that person. The CM as well as the ministers is in cabinet. So this is the another one more example. So friends, these are the some of the rules of the subject verb agreement. So whatever it might be, whenever you just look at the sentences, so you need to know what is the sense of the sentence and then come to final judgment or agreement with it. So here whenever you just want to use, first look at the subject and the sense of the subject, then take the verb. So here the verb should agree with its subject. So friends, I hope really my video has enriched you or made you to learn a lot of things about subject verb agreement, that is Concord. And please do subscribe to my channel, like, share, and please comment on whatever the different things that you have learned, or any improvements, or do you want any other topic to be explained. So thank you all for being with me. See you in the next video. Bye.